Can we get some ratchet one time? Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and read it, you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just
I'm really a man.
There you go, folks. Yeah, we already know that John Wick is a man, so we can already make that clear to start the review. He's not non-binary, or whatever the fuck. That was a man. Like that was a very attractive, feminine-looking man right there. Holy shit! I only saw a little bit of her, but she looked bangable to me. John Wick would hit that shit.
No, he wouldn't.
With a pistol.
I see. He's gonna be a bum John Wick. All right. Anyways, folks, welcome to the MCU'S YouTube channel and podcast. On our guest panel for the review, the Bleeding Edge review of John Wick from 2014 this evening. For the first time, Vic, right from the Entertainment District podcast. Welcome to the show, Vic.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
And what is your role exactly over there at the podcast, sir?
So I'm one of the founding members of Entertainment District Podcast. I'm not the host. We gave it to someone else, but we just pretty much share everything. I do all the social media mainly, and we talk movies, series, and anime, sometimes gaming. So a lot of diverse content.
Love it. We love diversity of content and diversity of pussy and diversity of all kinds of things over here at the Bleeding Edge.
Yeah.
Also, coming soon, also new to the panel, running a little bit late, is going to be Josh from the Hoarders by Nerds podcast. But in the meantime, Alan, was that Chewbacca farting? Is that was a Chewbacca fart?
Yeah, but I didn't mean to do that.
It was a wet one too.
All right, good job, Alan. Alan from the Bubbling Collective podcast with our boys Freddie and Matt over there. Whatnot. What's going on, Alan? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you guys. You're just chilling like always.
Holding down the rest of the panel. Veteran content creator and YouTuber, co-host Cyberneticshark. What's up, sir?
Doing good. Time for some John Wick.
Fuck yeah, baby. And then, of course, rounding the panel out, regular guest of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast, Time Cop and Time Lord, sir. Which means
drink.
Double drink on that one.
There we go.
Oh, there. Wait, I thought we were going to just double drink when we say Wick or Baba Yaga.
No, we didn't say any of that. Anyways, so Andres, sir, it's good to see you, sir. How are you tonight?
Awesome. Excited to talk about John Wick. I saw chapter 2 today as well.
Did you watch chapter 1 and chapter 2 at the same time?
Oh yeah. I mean,
of course you did.
I love the series. So let's go. Come on.
I know you might as well watch 3 of them at the same time. Honestly,
I wish. Chapter 3 is my favorite out of the 4 films.
All right. So in the meantime, of course, I am Jeff S., aka TrueKnowledge, humbled to be the creator and co-host of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. I'm here to moderate and kill this fucking review real quick. First question for the panel. I've got trailers and scenes to play, but not everything. First question for the panel. Besides just, Vic, you being new to the Bleeding Edge, you didn't expect that penis on the conveyor belt shit, did you?
Not at all. Hilarious, and the music made it even better.
Yeah, I know. That was a good one. First question to the panel. I'll start with you, Vic, and then I'll slide over to you, Alan.
All right.
Slide over, baby. And really quick, everybody, the drinking game rules tonight. How we're drinking, you in the comment section if you want to engage. On Rumble, we're back, Rumble. On YouTube, on Twitch, on X, on Facebook Live, on our Facebook page, however the fuck you're deciding to consume the show. Essentially, the drinking game words tonight are any version of course, Andre's Pop Culture Guy channel presents host titles on our Bleeding Edge panel. Time Cop, Time Lord. Now this is no. I can say this because I'm defining from the terms. Now, not Bat Lord. It has to be a combination with the word time. The word time itself, whenever it's used, we're going to drink. The word dog itself, whenever it's used, when we drink. And when Cyber and I say drink, we drink. There we go. And of course, if you're in the comment section, you can use the words, but they have to be practical. It can't just be stupid shit. Trying to make us get drunk. All right. You guys have already got me like that. It's not going to happen again. So, all right. First question. Go to you, Vic.
All right.
Besides your most recent watch of John Wick, in preparation for the review and all that and whatnot, how many times would you say you've seen it? And then what was your first impression off watching it that first time?
So I've seen it probably 6 times. Most recently, a couple years ago, when I prepped for Chapter 4, my first impression going into it, I didn't think it was going to be something this good. And finishing the movie, it's a solid 8.5 out of 10. It blew me away of expectations because I didn't know Keanu was going to make this movie until it came out. And I think I read it on Redbox, which doesn't really exist anymore. So it was definitely a surprise hit.
Redbox is still around.
It is? Okay.
I believe so. I still get the stupid emails every once in a while. And just so you know, your rating may change because when we do ratings by the end of the show, it can be, you never know. Stuff you might hear from other members of the panel, whatnot, might sway you to change that rating.
That is true.
So, Alan, how about you, sir?
Basically the same. I had no idea what this movie was about. And
this is the first time you ever watched it?
No. I mean, when it first came out, I had no idea. And
how many times have you seen it?
Oh shit! Going probably a dozen.
A dozen? And so, what were your first impressions with the first time you watched it?
The first time I watched it, it was like never seen anything like it. I was like, this is Jason Bourne, but with steroids. And I didn't understand much of it, as now I understand a lot more because, I've seen all 3, but, at the beginning, you really didn't know what was going on. And even after you watched it, you still didn't know what was going on. You just knew the guy was pissed off because they killed his dog. That was.
Were you really hammered every time you watched the John Wick or something?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm pretty much fucked up when I watch anything.
There you go. I'll do the pop culture guy, sir. Same question to you.
Oh man, I think after Chapter 2 got released, like my family saw this on television, and it just the word of mouth, like got the attention of me and my family to see this film and sequel Chapter 2 and television. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan of the series. I mean, sticking with the first one, overall thoughts. The first one was so like one of the best character-driven action films we had so far. And like you like me who grew up during the mid 2010s, like the action films were so.
You didn't grow up in the mid 2010s, asshole.
No. I'm saying like during my time, like during
the fuck
the 2010s. F you, sir. Fuck you.
Whatever.
Anyway, the Taken films, the drum, the Jason Bourne films. Like we were having the very like not great action films. We still have great action films like the Raid 2 and all that. And then came John Wick. Here, this movie just completely changed, changed the action film for good. And I'm totally grateful for this film. It's one of the best action films. I'm very excited to talk about it with you guys. And it gave another life for Keanu Reeves. Reeves is, he's a hit and miss actor, but I think this is his best performance as an actor. But I'm talking about.
Say his name again, please.
Mr. Reeves. I'm not saying his first name.
Say his first name again, please.
Never.
Say his first name again.
Oh, no.
You mean piano?
Wow, Cyber, damn.
Anyway, Cyber. Same question to you, sir.
Sorry treatment.
Ooh, it's so hurt. Oh, he didn't
Oh,
talk. He wasn't 60 fucking minute man.
Oh my!
That's next. That's in the next round of questions. The 60 minute man's gonna
He's
come out.
approaching that already.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm so sorry.
Cyber
Finish.
Cyber. He's done. What you? You're the last one on the panel on the question, sir. What's your count on the watch times, and then your first impressions the first time you saw the film?
All right, so I ended up checking it out on Blu-ray after it had come out to physical media, and it was probably late 2014. Me and the wife watched it, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I liked Keanu Reeves. I knew he was a good actor. I liked him in The Matrixes. I liked him in Point Break, Bill and Ted's, etc. I enjoyed him. So, I saw that it was an action film. I'm like, oh, let's see what this is. I wasn't too sure about it either when it first came out. I hadn't even heard of it until I saw the Blu-ray cover. So we watched it and absolutely loved it. I ended up, since then, I probably watched it over a dozen times, just like Alan. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid action flick. I thought it had a great cast. I liked William Dafoe in it. I was sad when they killed him off, and Michelle Monaghan was great, Bridget Monaghan was great in it, and the main bad guy there, rip to him. He passed away a couple years ago of lung cancer. He was a fantastic villain in this. I absolutely loved him.
Yeah,
and it's too bad he's gone, but he was a really solid villain in this too. And of course, Ian McShane, great. So overall, really had a great first impression on the film.
Okay, excellent. And you made some really good points there. And I'll just say that I want to say that today will be probably my fourth or fifth watch of John Wick. And the initial intro actually did make me a little bit emotional. Like I didn't get teary-eyed or anything like that, whatnot, and everything, but I forgot how emotional it is. So like there was a little bit of a tinge of some emotion there for me. What a surprise, Alan, that you're no doubting that shit, bro. Like when you're hammered, dude, you'll smash anything, bro.
Well, she was banging.
You're just like me, dude. You know what I'm saying? But no, you're right. She was banging.
Yeah, she was
that
banging.
assassin chick. She don't give a fuck about them rules.
Yeah.
So, anyways, folks, as far as the film itself goes, as far as John Wick goes, I'm going to be scrolling down all the vital information, including the cast and the characters and whatnot, everything down here at the screen. But just to kind of bust things off and get things started, the film, of course, is directed by Chad Stahelski, written by Derek Kolstad, produced by Basil Iowink, David Leitch, Eva Longoria, and Michael Witherill. It stars Keanu Reeves, Michael Nyquist, Alfie Allen, Adrian Pelicki, Bridget Moynihan, Dean Winters, Ian McShane, John Leguizamo, and Willem Dafoe. Cinematography, Jonathan Sella. Edited by Elizabeth Rilel DeTore. Music by Taylor Bates, Joel J. Richard. Produced by Thunder Road Pictures, 8711 Productions, MJW Films, and Deafy Night Films. Distributed by Summit Entertainment. Released October 24th, 2014. Running time 101 minutes. The budget was 20 to 30 million. Total box office worldwide, 86 million. So, wow, I didn't realize that until now that was the box office on that was actually that low, but that's actually not that bad. They made money off the film. Just based off that, I'll go around real quick and I'll go back in reverse order. Start with you, Cyber. Do you have any thoughts before we even get started on the actual film review itself on anything involving anybody directly with this, with the writing or the directing, for instance, or the cinematography? Anything you want to mention with the music or anything with the budget and the box office?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't realize, but David Leitch was actually a co-director on this. Even though Chad Stahelski got main billing, he actually co-directed it with Chad Stahelski. And David Leitch also was a part of the writing of the script, and he was the main stunt coordinator for the film. And he actually... he was kind of upset when he didn't get attached to being the co-director with with Stahelski, and that's kind of why things changed after the first film. Why people started not being on certain films is because of that little bit of a feud. But I mean, I remember this was really had a limited release in theaters, and it was mostly on physical media that it really started to get its buzz and its money. So that box office number sounds accurate for it because it had a lot more success on streaming and when people bought it on physical media. I remember seeing the advertisements for it coming out around that time in 2014 for like pay-per-view and for Voodoo and stuff like that. So I remember seeing a lot of ads for that because that was the first time I think I actually saw anything about it. And then eventually when I went to the movie store, that's when I came across it and rented it. But yeah, I mean, quite a bit went into making this film. And I don't think when they made this that they had any idea how popular it was going to become and how big it was going to make Keanu Reeves again. I don't think Keanu Reeves thought that he would, be in another great franchise again, such as The Matrix or the Bill and Ted's, in his, coming into this film, he was turning 50. So, here he is now, almost 60. He'll be 60 this year. And still playing a character that's super badass. So I think that this revitalized his career in 2014.
I'm just a pop culture guy. Time Lord.
Oh, Drake.
Salute, my Baba Yaga. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know I have about Baba Yaga in my timeline. So just to let you guys know. So Cyber and Jeff, watch out. No, I like that. Cyber brought up the directors because a lot of people don't know there are stuntmen, and it's a very interesting story. Like, so to expand upon that, like there were stuntmen for the Matrix trilogy. If I remember correctly, they've been doing stunt work. They've done a little bit of Marvel Studios and a couple of action films. Not to like focus on the Matrix trilogy, and it was just it's such a cool I'd say launch career for these directors. I mean, look at David Leitch. I mean, he's done Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spin-off. His new film coming out this May, the Fallout guy, with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, looks promising. Oh, thank you. Such a weird name. Anyway, and the Atomic Blonde, his first film outside of that was his first solo directing after he did the John Wick film. It's just it's incredible for these directors getting successful, directing because you don't see that a lot in Hollywood. So that's all I have to say about this John Wick thing.
Alan, you have any thoughts, sir, on anything I laid out as far as who's involved in making and writing the film, and then the budget and the box office?
No, not really. I mean, it was a kick-ass movie, and I mean, I honestly didn't watch the movie because of Keanu. I watched the movie because of William Dafoe.
Yeah.
When I heard he was in the movie, I was like, well, he's only always in good movies. I'll watch it. And
I don't blame you. William, I can't think of really many times when William Dafoe's been in anything and he's not added value to a film.
Yeah. But when it comes to the directors and all that, nah, I'm not.
He'd kill on the fucking panel, bro. Willem Dafoe. He'd be a beast on the panel. Plus he can do accents and shit and whatnot. A la Cyber, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
Anyways, I apologize. No, but good job, guys. Vic, you have any final thoughts, Vic? I'm sorry. On what I just read off there.
No, just shout out to the directors. I think with that budget, the movie definitely feels like a $26 million movie, I think you said. But they made it work in every possible way they could. So you got to show brilliance with that, with the budget they work with.
No, it's not bad. It says between 20 to 30 million on Wikipedia, right? So if it's 30 million tops for 2014, I don't know how that converts to now, but I don't know. What's that, like Cyber 50 million now or something like that? Either way, That's not bad. They definitely got their money's worth on this shit.
Yeah, and there's action movies with way higher budgets that are nowhere near as good as this. So
yeah, definitely.
Well, listen, before we go ahead and start the actual review part of the film, whatnot, I'll go ahead and play the trailer.
Damn,
Okay.
I want to watch it again.
I know, right? It's a good trailer. So going off of that, right? So essentially, the way the film starts off is it starts off with a sort of like, the end as the beginning kind of deal, right? Which we've seen in several different films before, whatnot, besides this one, where we see him at the end of the film, right in the beginning. And then from there, we end up having like some flashbacks where we do have some emotional moments where, we basically get a very quick sort of backstory of what went on between him and his wife, and him losing her and whatnot, right? And I think it was very well done, in terms of, the way that they played the EKG over everything else, right? Sort of like as a background, throughout that whole sort of like, memory sequence or flashback sequence of like, the relationship together and then her dying or passing. We get the funeral scene where we see Marcus for the first time, right? Willem Dafoe's character, who comes off sort of ominous at first, right? But then, like, you could see he's actually is sort of a friend. And, he gets the dog, right? Which again was very emotional, right? Not from the wife, right? And,
You said dog.
Oh, you're right. Drink, everybody. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
So his fucking car is sick, right? That's all I can say about that. And he's grieving, from his death, Helen, from the death of his wife, Helen. Who had arranged for him to receive the beagle puppy, Daisy, to cope with his loss. A few days later, when he's out driving his sick ass, Mustang or whatever, whatnot, a group of Russian gangsters led by Losev Herzog, who of course is actually played by, I believe, Alfie Allen, who was in Game of Thrones.
Theon Greyjoy, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was Theon. Interesting character. I'm reading the books, but basically, at the gas station, John's accosted, by these Russian gangsters who failed to intimidate him into selling him his 1969 Boss 429 Mustang. That night, they break into John's home, assault him, kill the puppy, and steal the car. Losa takes the Mustang to a chop shop through its identifying details, but the shop owner, Aurelio, recognizes it and refuses service. Aurelio informs John that Losep is the son of Vigo Terezov, the boss of New York City's Russian mafia. Now, I'll stop there. I'll start with you, Mr. 60-Minute Man. I'm just a pop culture guy. I'll start with you, and then I'll bump off you, and I'll go over to Alan. What are your thoughts on that segment of the film, that opening segment of the film, starting off, the beginning of the film, and then cutting off right at the time before, Vigo actually contacts John, right?
Okay.
So basically, right after Aurelio gets the call from Vigo and tells him that it was John Wick.
John Wick. Okay. That's a good way to end that. Yeah. I mean, oh my god, the opening's great. Like, I mean, first off, the opening of like just seeing this band crashing into this brick wall, and then you see John Wick the first time, and he's like kind of wounded, and then see him take out his phone, and he sees the wife, and then it's really cool, and like you don't understand the contents of it until like really the end of the film, which we'll get back to that. Really great way to like cook you in the film, and then after that you get this really like melancholy opening of John Wick waking up his routine, 6 o'clock, getting ready for something, and then you see these like really great affected montage of his his wife Helen, and you see how deeply in love he's with his wife, and then you see her, going down with the illness, and then of course wrapping up with the her dying. We don't know what kind of illness, she just dies, like this, illness that we can understand. It hits hard for me a little bit, because my dad passed away last year with cancer. So I can somewhat, I kind of connect now more with John Wick in that moment, which is really sad. And and then the funeral, and meeting Marcus. I love Willem Dafoe. He's a terrific actor, and you don't know. Yeah, and Marcus is there to maybe kill John Wick. You don't know who's this guy, but he's like an old friend. Just right away talking to John. He feels sorry for him and all that, and it's really cool to see that. So I'm very excited to talk more about Marcus. But it's great to see him in this second section here, and then and then after that, he gets this mystery ring in his door, sees this beagle dog. And then, oh my god, the note.
Drake.
Yeah.
What, the dog?
Oh, drink again.
The other one.
Oh, what? Me? I'm sorry.
It's all fun and games when you're drinking water.
I was drinking my coffee. Now I'm drinking water. Okay. All right, I'm ready. Okay. All right. Getting
ready for the next 48 minutes of the 60-minute first monologue.
You didn't tell me I had to say that word that we're gonna drink. Oh my god, you didn't tell me that. You say, that you know what I'm talking about. My nickname, but you didn't tell me we're gonna drink with the aminal. Oh my god. Anyway.
What, the dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Daisy, son of a bitch. Oh god. Okay, so when he gets Daisy, I forgot the name of that dog.
Gonna run out.
Oh yeah. So when he gets Daisy, it's
The animal.
Yeah, the animal.
Yeah.
I was not gonna say the D word. Anyway,
Sure.
yeah, sure. F you, sir. Anyway, when
Wow.
you
Two FUs to two different people on the show this quick.
I told you, Andre, I don't float that way, sir. Stop trying to do that. I mean, if Chewbacca's into it, go for it.
what the hell?
And you get to kind of see Vito kind of in his element too a little bit, but also you get to see that you can see that he has compassion, but at the same time he has smarts. And I thought that there were several scenes in this wedding sequence that show that, and show that he is, being a great Don as he's called. And so, I like how he speaks in the movie, like how he talks like that the whole time. It's really fun. And so I think it's funny, just like how many times I've seen that. Like,
There you go.
Oh
For inspiration.
Yeah, great inspiration. Oh my god. Anyway, when he gets the Daisy and the note, we're so emotional. His crying is like, oh my god, the best man cry ever, and it's like, oh my god, you're killing me here. And and then he does his usual, mopey routine. I mean, having this aminal Daisy, in his life is like kind of getting back to his life until he meets the stupid motherfucking Joseph, Vigo's son in the film. And wait, that's where his life is pretty much downhill. We get to the night, something's wrong. The dog gets the sense of, something's not right. They've been this. I did say dog, so we had to drink again. So anyway, let's do this.
You're gonna be one caffeinated motherfucker by the end of the night, bro.
He's not going to sleep tonight.
No, I'm probably not. Anyway, so we got intruders, like stranger danger, folks. Intruders, like who these fucking people are? You know, they're beating out John Wick, and I know who they are, folks. I'm just joking. You know, the fucking Russian, fucking France with Yosef. They attacked John Wick, steal his car, killed Daisy, which was brutal. And just a tidbit, I was just looking at my notes. Originally with the writers, it was the cliche thing of killing his wife. So, but they changed that to use the dog as the motivation for John Wick to go after the bad guys. Really the people that are responsible for Daisy's death. So I like that change, and that's something that's very unique about this film. They switch this like typical kind of trope about revenge, and I like how they did it in a way that makes a lot of sense with the ammo that he gets from his dead wife, which was really emotional, and like right away you connect to that. So I really dug that. But the best thing is really the myth, the man, the legend, Baba Yaga. When we get to the John Leguizamo character in the car shop, and when he sees that car, like right away something's really not, it's like nothing right, and with the car, and he's like surprised that they had this car, and then he punches Yosef, which is great, and then of course when he gets the call from Beagle, and he asks him, why you punch my son? And it's like, well, sir,
I told you not to go that far, sir.
Well, you told me stuff.
I simply told you what your cutoff was.
Oh man,
You're past your 60 minutes.
Damn,
Well,
Jeff.
I'm done.
Jeff,
That's
why are you dogging him, man?
I'm not. He's at the 60-minute
I
mark.
gotta take a hit.
Oh, you did it. There you go.
Great.
Anyways, what's up, Jocelyn? How are you tonight, my friend? All right, Alan, same question to you, sir. What are your thoughts on that intro and then everything up until the the scene where Vigo fucks his son up?
Well, I mean, now that we know what the movie's all about, we could talk, but I'm gonna act like I never had seen the movie when I first watched it. When I was watching this, I had no idea what was going on. Because I had never seen the preview. I just went and Willem Dafoe, I'm gonna watch this, and I had no idea who he was or anything. So I mean, for me, the wife dying, people die all the time. And in movies, I mean, it's a common thing. But you see, I didn't realize that they had changed it from the wife getting killed to the dog. Ah, damn it, my bad.
Jeez, I didn't think I was going to have to reload this quick, man.
But it was great that they did that, because I mean the animal, and he was so cute. I mean, he was a little puppy, and he was, so you really got kind of attached to him, and then the way they did it, man, the way they killed him, it was like you just lying there and all that,
Did you get emotional?
Yeah, emotional I got pissed off. Yeah, I mean, I was mad. I was like, because the animal can't defend himself. It's not like it was a German Shepherd. That you know what I'm saying. It was a puppy. So when they killed it, it was like, it was just mixed feelings. And of course, we hadn't gone to. I'm stopping where Jeff says we have to stop because blah 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 blah.
Fucking rules, man.
But before all that, you really had no. In my case, I really had no idea what was going on. I mean, I kind of knew that the man's wife had died. He was friends with this other dude, and he had an animal. And his wife had died. And that was it. I had no, you didn't know he was the Baba Yaga. You didn't know none of that.
You know what it meant.
Yeah, exactly. You had no idea. So till right now, if we're watching the movie, till right now, I'm more like, man, they killed his dog. that's the biggest thing right now. It's they killed his dog. Going to the shop and all that really doesn't matter right now because they killed his dog. And even if they got to the shop, you still doesn't matter because they haven't introduced him yet.
All right, sir. Cyberneticshark, your thoughts, sir.
So we're going from the beginning to when Vigo has found out that John Wick's pissed and he punches the son.
Before he punches the son.
Yeah, he hadn't found out yet. Yeah.
Well, you just said Vigo
right to the point before that happens, right to the point where Vigo calls Aurelio to ask him why he struck his son.
Okay.
And he tells him because he stole John Wick's car.
Yeah.
Okay.
He killed his dog. Shot him.
Break. All right. So the beginning of the film starts off. We see John Wick getting out of the car, and he's like bleeding. He's injured. You're like, what the fuck? Why does the movie start this way? That's just like you're like so confused. And then all of a sudden we go back and we find out, that John has just lost his wife. She was sick. And he gets that final present, which is the dog. So I mean, right there, right off the bat, we start off, knowing that, you kill a man's pet, any kind of pet, doesn't matter. It could be a cat, it could be, tarantula, it could be anything. And, and if it's from your dead wife, you're going to get fucked up because there's an emotional bond there. I mean, it couldn't even been a pet. She could have sent him flowers, could have sent him something even else. That it could have been that sentimental, and he would have went apeshit because it was from his dead wife. So, I mean, we get that clear-cut connection there that we can understand right off the bat. John he's a really sophisticated person that you should be scared of. And, you get that great kind of first off emotional kind of, backstory there to kind of get you kind of down and out at first, really, before it really starts to get into the action. We get that scene where he drives up to get gas at the gas station. We're introduced to Vigo's son, who's played by Alfie Allen. And he's straight up just a dickhead from the get-go, saying he wants his car. And he's like, and even when he speaks in Russian, John understands it and talks to him in Russian. And you're like, you should have thought right off the bat there, Alfie, if he knows Russian, there's something behind this. And there's those little cues throughout the beginning of this film where it's like there's so many little points that you feel like these bad guys should have realized we should not screw with this guy. And, and unfortunately, no, because we got to have that great action. So once, he, gets a little more bonded to the dog after. Oh,
there we go.
Yes, there it is.
After receiving it, we, of course, he gets back to his house. The dog gets up. Oh, let's drink again. And John goes after it. And all of a sudden, he finds people are broken and he gets basically beat down. And as he's being beat down, Daisy gets beat up too. And basically, they ransack the place a little bit, beat up John, and take his car. And so this is really the knife in the coffin for this Alfie kid. Not only taking his car, he kills the animal. And we see that great sequence there where it shows that the animal had dragged itself after being injured over to him and laid right in front of him as he's unconscious. Was such a great moment in that film. Really drew the attention to get you to see how serious this is as a moment and, how evil this is. I mean, because think about it. Anybody that's willing to kill an animal, they really are an evil person. So this really gets you going that, even though John's this hired contract killer, he's really still the good guy here, and he's just taking out the garbage that should have already been taken out. And you kind of get that idea there, I feel, at the beginning of this film, kind of getting into it. And, I think it's really well played out. Even, getting to the point where we're introduced to John Leguizamo's character, and he's like, he notices the car, and it's like, where'd you get this car? And he punched the kid, which was absolutely awesome. And having that conversation with, the kid's father, Vigo, and telling him, well, he stole John Wick's car and killed his animal. That was
we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Thank you, Cyber.
That's where he said to end.
I mean, that's the best part of the movie, so that's why everybody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Jeff
And then hang up.
Dalton, AT&T.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cyber, any other thoughts, sir?
No, that is it. It was a great beginning, sir.
All right. To you, Vic.
So, like Alan, I didn't watch the trailer or anything before renting the movie. And usually I don't like it when movies show pretty much what it seems like the ending at the beginning. But it actually worked, in my opinion, for this movie. Because if you showed me 30 minutes of him just lollygagging, doing chores, sad, I probably would have tuned out at that point. So it definitely worked, showing the little action in the beginning and then rebuilding up to the scene with everything that happened. The fact that they killed his pup and not his wife, I also didn't know that they changed that and it worked, because everyone dies in every movie. There's always a loss. I don't remember a movie where an animal is driven to the point for John to do what he had to do in this movie. Because even watching it, everyone's like, all this for a dog? So, but it's different. If you have a dog, if you're an animal lover, it's two. Jesus.
That's two.
Ooh. I'm gonna be fucked up.
Oh man, that was hard.
What a shock! What a shock, Alan.
But just the fact that they did that with the pup, it just hits different. It's a different tone for sure. But it was weird watching the movie, seeing John just get beat up, and then the guy at the Chops Aurelio say, "Whose car is this?" And he's actually scared. I was like, they just beat him up. What are you scared of? And I guess we'll talk about it. You don't know till you know, pretty much with it. But the beginning of the movie, I was hooked. And when he at this point, did everything get dug up, his guns and everything, or no, not yet?
No, that's going to come up in the next segment.
Okay,
and I'm going to go right back to you guys on questions on that. We're going to go.
All right, I'll hold off. But it was a great opening. Hooked me in the beginning. Solid.
I'll let you start off the next round. Okay.
Okay.
Now, according to Keanu Reeves, he did 90% of his own stunts in the film. Keanu learned to mesmerize the nightclub fight sequence the day that the scene was filmed. Director Chad, again, I think you pronounce it Stelelsky, was Keanu Reeves' stunt double in the Matrix movies. In an interview with Rudy's Movie Reviews, Kevin Nash stated that he was told the reason his character Francis the Bouncer was allowed to live. But I guess I was screwed something up here. But when Nick Wick mentions that he lost some weight and Francis stated that he had lost 20 kilograms, Wick was asking in code how many hostages were in the building. Yeah. Francis' reply was 20. Because he provided the information to Wick, he was allowed to live.
Actually, that's incorrect. He said 60.
60. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he does that. Actually, you see that first when he calls the cleaners.
This is trivia. This isn't facts.
Yeah. Well,
facts in the movie, so it's facts for me.
Yeah. Well, you can get a sense that it's true because the way that guy just kind of confirmed that. Because remember, there's codes that they have that can confirm this, so it makes a lot of sense. Plus, he also did that with the cleaners that are going to clean out the hitmans in his house. So it's consistent from that. So,
well, if you lose 60 kilograms, man, you've lost a shitload of weight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, according to the director's commentary, when they shot the top-level nightclub fight sequence, Keanu Reeves had the flu and was running 104-degree fever. You couldn't even get him to sit down, said Chad Stelelsky. He just did take after take. So there you go, a little side note. Now, on to the segment of the film that everyone really wants to talk about, and Vic gets to talk about next. is the confrontation where, upon learning upon his son's actions, Vigo berates Losif for incurring John's wrath. We see the sort of dual scenery where they show John, right, and the soundtrack's pretty solid on this too. I enjoy it. They show John, hammering that fucking concrete and whatnot in the basement and shit to get his shit, his guns and shit. That shit's dope as fuck. As they're in the background, the casting of Dean Winters as the lawyer or whatever whatnot was great too, right, from Oz. He was great. Yep, he was good, really good. I liked him. But that's when we get the villain of the film, right? Of course, being Vigo Terezov, which, as Cyber said, is great. He's a great as a villain in the film. He really is. He's a great stage screen presence, I think. But this is a great scene. He reveals John was once a hitman in his employ and was renowned and feared in the criminal underworld as the Baba Yaga, a ruthless, relentless man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. After John fell in love with Helen, a civilian, Vigo gave him a seemingly impossible task to earn his freedom. He succeeded, and then, of course, at that point, Vigo says something along the lines of, the bodies that he buried that day laid the foundation of who we are now, right? And so that's how he got out. And that's sort of the end of that sequence, right? And I'll let you go to you, Vic, right off that. Fill in whatever details I left out from the dialogue, from the conversation. Same thing to everybody in the panel. I'll go to you off that. I'll go to you, Cyberneticshark. But go ahead, Vic. Now bust off on that whole sequence with the revealing of who John Wick is.
Yeah, just the whole weight Vigo held against his name at that point was just, it felt very ominous because, as I said before, he just got a beat down. You see him getting guns as he's talking about it, and watching, you're like, yo, he's gonna fuck shit up, literally, with everything he's trying to do. And you literally not only disrespected John in a possible worst way, but you disrespected our family because, like you said, we got this because of him.
And his wife just died like days ago.
Yes, exactly. And you killed his dog. Oh,
Here we go.
There we go. And you killed his pup in cold blood for no reason. So just that, I think that tone shift worked for the movie, and at that point, it's like you didn't want to blink because you felt like you were gonna miss something crazy at that point because something's gonna happen, especially if you did watch the trailer. But the action that follows it is just ridiculous, completely ridiculous.
Cyberneticshark, sir. Cyber,
you go.
Yeah, I'm coming. Slow down, people. Slow down.
That's what she said.
No, that's what you said. Anyways, Chewbacca. Anyway, that sequence is really good. Basically, you get kind of all the information, or majority of the information of who John is and kind of his background and why people fear him. You get that great ominous feel there as they cut back and forth. We just see John smashing into his basement of his house to really get his, basically get his things back out that he cemented in there years prior when he got married to his wife. And you get just a really great sense of, this is somebody you don't screw with. And it was just really well executed and a great lead up to what's to come.
All right, Alan.
Well, actually, that
hurry up, Alan, hurry.
Yeah, that sequence after they kill his dog. Here we go. Honestly, for me, it was it was the catalyst to start the movie. Because he goes to Aurelio's place. Aurelia basically punches him because he's like, dude, get this fucking car out of here. I don't want nothing to do with this car. Then when Vigo calls him and he's like, yeah, he stole his car and shot his dog. Well, shit. Vigo basically was like, oh, and hangs up. So that's how you know it's like, okay, they kind of fucked with the wrong person. And then, you know, the way he explained, like you were talking about, Jeff, the way he explains it, and you know, he takes they show John Wick's and like the montage, you know, breaking the shit up and taking the shower and the tattoos in the back and all that. You realize, okay, this ain't no ordinary guy. This is somebody else. This is not the guy that we saw at the beginning that was a loving husband and, you know, cared about his wife. This is a completely different person. You know, that, you know, obviously he became a loving husband and all that, but you know, this is for me, this is where the movie starts. You know, this is where it's like, all right, this is, you know, the going to the chop shop, and then him. How far are we going? Are we going past what Vigo? You know, because Vigo basically tells
just the Vigo explaining the backstory to the son and whatnot. And everything.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah. I mean, that story itself just tells you, you know, because that's where you hear Baba Yaga. You know, well, you don't know what that is. I've never heard that in my life. But you hear that in the movie, The Boogeyman, and now everybody knows who he is. You know, it's like, hey, it's the Baba Yaga. Oh, it's the Boogeyman. He's like, nah, dude, he ain't the Boogeyman. He's the man you send to kill the Boogeyman.
I think I banged a chick named Bo Yaga or some shit with some time of POF.
So
it's possible.
You fucked the Boogeyman? Damn.
Something similar. They used to say it was something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Baba Yaga, some shit. Who knows?
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga. Yeah. So I mean, that's what he was like. You know, Vigo was like, nah, dude, he's the guy you send to kill him. You know, so that tells you how badass he was.
That's how it is with like that when they hire the dude like for the cucking the chick and the wife or whatnot, everything, and the first dude comes in and he ain't got no game. I come in, right? You know what I'm saying? So for the real cuck shit. You know what I mean? Like I bring the OG shit to the cuck, to the cuck game, right? I come in for round 2.
So basically, yeah, that's it. And dog.
Are you sure it wasn't a trans person there, that Baba Yaga?
It could have been. I don't know. Who knows? No, I don't think it was a transgender person. My transgender experiences have been very limited, so I can remember all of them.
Yeah, so. Jeff lives in Florida, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know down here. That's right. All right. I'm just a pop culture guy.
Yeah. Oh man, this scene is the most iconic thing ever. I mean, first off, you brought up the actor from Oz, Dean. What was it? Dean
Winters.
Winters. Yeah. Like, I love the running gag of him asking Vigo to speak English every time in the film. He always say, "Vigo, please, English." And I always like how he's such a nervous wreck every time when he didn't see his boss to, explain the pencil story to him. He's like, he like flinch, which is so funny. Oh my god, I just love him. He's such a great henchman. But yeah, this scene is so great. First off, I love how Vigo, like, how you say, like, he goes up to his son. He's like, "Oh, my son, like, you look wonderful," and then he punches him, and then, like, he throws up. Because he drank, whatever, alcohol he just consumed. And it's like, wow, that was great. And, because the son doesn't know why he punched him. And of course, he's going to explain, what the most stupidest thing he did ever. And oh my God, when he say, the line that Jeff, you were saying before, that, John is not a boogeyman. He's the one that you go after and kill the boogeyman. That like totally shook my core. I was like, oh, okay, this is that serious, and like explaining how he's such a top like assassin, and then the pencil story, which is so hilarious.
What shakes my core every time is that.
Oh my god,
right
no.
There. That shakes my core every fucking time, baby. That 7-year-old boy ass on Captain Bree, well, it'll get you.
What the fuck? You did that. This is a John Wick movie. It's not an MCU movie. Anyway.
Brie Larson in the second film, The Marvels, was actually in a lot better shape in that film. She actually looked more shapely, so her ass looked a lot better in that one. So.
I know her ass looked fat compared to her Rogue's ass in the X-Men 97 trailer.
Oh my god! Don't even bring that in. Yeah.
Captain Bree's ass looked like some booty shit.
Yeah. What's the end point, Jeff? It's after
the end point is I'm giving whoever animated fucking Rogue in that trailer, whatnot, gets the Danny Award. Okay, just to be clear,
whoa.
you get a Danny Award, motherfucker, for disrespecting Rogue's ass, bitch.
Excuse me, sir. I like Rogue's ass. I was disappointed in the X-Men 97.
I know. I'm disappointed too. Rogue is fucking sexy as fuck.
Highway robbery.
Yeah, robbery.
That's why I had to drop a Danny Award on the motherfucker. That's it. That's all that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vic, I'm sure you have a version on your show of the Danny Award.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. We can move on.
I'm done.
Are you sure, Andres?
I mean,
sure, sir?
Well, you didn't tell me where we're gonna end, so I'm like,
yes, I did. All we recovered was just the one conversation.
Okay.
Just the one little scene right there. That's all it was.
Yeah,
Because it's a big pivotal scene.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and our good friends just brought up, that, while we're hearing this, we have the montage of, John getting his stuff out of that like floor, which is really great, and that's the one part is like, oh my god, he's getting his guns, the coins.
Well, that's where we're going, and I'll start off with you, okay?
Okay.
So all right, so at that point, right, that's when John does recover his concealed stash, from the concrete, in the basement, from his former career that includes weapons and gold coins that, of course, are going to end up being for the Continental. He rejects Vito's attempt to make amends when Vito calls him, right? Notice how he had like a landline phone too, wired in down there in his basement and whatnot, probably where he did business and whatnot back in the day. But either way, and so at that point, Vigo goes ahead and, tasks that squad on his ass, right? So Vigo also puts a $2 million bounty on John and lists John's former mentor, Marcus, to kill him. John lodges at the Continental, a luxurious hotel that serves as neutral ground for the underworld and where conducting criminal business is forbidden. Winston, Ian McShane, the hotel's owner and John's old friend, informs him that Losif is in a nightclub called Red Circle. John infiltrates Red Circle and confronts Losif, but he is attacked by Vigo's henchman, Kirill, and forced to retreat to the Continental for medical attention. So we'll stop there. Now, there's a lot in there detail that you guys can provide for me on the panel. Andres, I'll start with you. Then I'll go to Vic, right? Then I'll go to Cyber. Then I'll go to you, Alan. There's a lot that goes on in that. But, what I really want to hear about is what you think of the action in the nightclub scene. And of course, John taking on that hit squad at his house.
Oh my god. Both sequences are the best action sequence you're gonna see when you see the film. I mean, first off, when he breaks a person's neck on the counter is like so brutal. I was like, oh my god. And the headshots. Oh my god, this whole franchise loves headshots. Bam, bam, bam. Because it's efficient to kill your enemies with a headshot. I never realized that until these movies. I was like, oh, you're right, John Wick. Headshots. It's good, like a video game. And that's the cool part about, these action sequence. Like, they feel like a video game, but not in a bad way. Like, this is how you can probably do, like, video games, adapting it, and make it very visually engaging. So, yeah, I mean, the house was great. And I mean, and of course, the funny part is afterwards, of course, we get the cop named Jimmy, and it was funny. He's like, "Oh, hey, John, I just came here because of a complaint." And he sees the dead body. He's like, "You're working again?" And I love John is like, no, I'm just like sorting things out. And oh my god, I just love that. That is so like it tells you right away what kind of world you're in. Like everyone's in. Like they know what's going on. So it's a secret society. Um and then after that, I was laughing so hard when we get to the cleaners and they come here, they're like gonna fix up the house, get rid of the bodies. I just love that. Oh my god, the shot when this guy just like sprays the water in the window and it's like sweeping. I was like, oh wow, I want to be in this universe. Like, have my coins, be an assassin, like live the life John Wick is in. You know, it's like what kind of like oh my god, I just want to be in that. And yeah, and then of course Vigo meets up with Marcus, and asks Marcus to like kill John Wick. We don't know if he's gonna do it, of course. When we get to later on, he becomes like an angel, like a guardian angel for John, because every time John gets in trouble, he just shoots the opponent and like lets John Wick, which is so great. So you see where he becomes later in the film. And yeah, when we go to the Continental, just a fun tree of the Continental building. It's actually the same one from Dark Knight Rises, the Stockus Cage. During that like sequence when Batman returns in the Dark Knight Rises. That's just a little fun trivia there. Yeah, we meet the late great Lance Henrich, great actor. He is amazing as the like hotel manager. I mean, right away he has good chemistry with Reeves. And it's really sad he's no longer with us, and so it's great to review this movie. And he's great in the sequels. That's why I love Chapter 3 because he does more. Like he actually joins in the action in Chapter 3, which is great. But yeah, and then after that he goes in the he meets Perkins, the female assassin, which is annoying. Get into that. So then after that, he meets Winston, of course, played by Ian McShane, great actor. Apparently Jason Isaac was for the role for Winston before Ian McShane was going to take over. I don't know. I can never see Winston as Jason Isaac. I think Ian McShane is just a great actor to play that character. So I'm happy that we got him instead of Jason Isaac. Despite Jason Isaac, great actor. Yeah. Then when Winston gave the location to Joseph with the red circle thing, we get into the best part of this. I mean, the action in the bath room, whatever you would call it, is amazing. We get great headshots, and knives, which is brutal. First off, his Joseph's friend, like his death was so brutal. He like kicks his leg out, like nerving him there, and of course he chokes him out in the water, in the sink, and then of course he say "fuck you," which was like, wow, worst way to like trigger John Wick, and then bam, he's dead. Yeah, that whole sequence was so funny, and I mean funny but exciting at the same time. And this sequence is the best part of the movie, and this is it's where we really like it. But yes, I like the sequence. Let's get the other people opinions.
The atmosphere of the club scene is really great. The club music and whatnot, everything, right? And they have like smoke and all that shit and whatnot going on and whatnot with all the people that they're fighting through the people and whatnot, right? But I'm sorry. Let me go to you, Vic.
Oh no, all good. Just know the action once it turned on, it didn't stop. I want to say it was kind of a breath of fresh air because at this point we've already seen a couple of Marvel movies that got started, some DC movies, and it's good again seeing on-screen rated R killing and a level of choreography we haven't seen in a while since, like you mentioned, Jason Bourne or older movies you haven't had in a while. The house scene was great when the cop came, hilarious because they know who this guy is, yet we don't know till we're starting to get to know now, you could say. Going to the hotel, at first you kind of say, hey, this hotel's interesting. I guess everyone goes here. You didn't guess how important the hotel is until later, of course. The club scene, phenomenal.
No,
the lighting.
And I was going to ask everybody, what do you think about the Continental?
I thought it was amazing. The episode 3 was a movie to me. It was nonstop action.
Actually, have you guys seen the Continental like the miniseries?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the hotel for the movie or
in the movie? Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the miniseries.
I know what you're saying. I'm talking about in the movie, like the first time you're watching it, right? When you're taking in the Continental and kind of like just the vibe of it. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. The ambiance was definitely top tier for sure. But that's pretty much it. Action was great. The club scene, great lighting, great choreography, like I said, and it's a breath of fresh air with all the action we got nonstop. So tuned in.
Cyberneticshark, sir.
All right, so we're going all the way to the nightclub scene.
The end of the nightclub scene.
Okay. So this portion of the film has two of the biggest action sequences in the film. You have, of course, the action sequence that happens at John's house after he has gotten his gear out of the basement. And we have him take out, all these agents that were sent by, Vigo. And one thing I love about John Wick is that he always does a headshot to make sure they're dead. If you ever notice that, he never just shoots them once. He always makes sure to shoot them in the head.
Double tap.
And this whole, double tap. And you watch him as he goes through this. I love that Keanu took the time to learn how to really hold a gun, how to really shoot, how to really do all these things in preparation for the film. You could tell that he looked like he was a serious, real shooter. And that sequence is just so well choreographed. And every single, instant that he takes a person out, it's like perfection. And you're just like rooting for John to kill these people because of just how good and lethal he is at this. And I just enjoyed that. Like, and no matter what the situation was, he's able to get himself out and to defeat the bad guy. And that sequence, you have, 12 to 13 men that come in after him, and he takes out every single one. And it's like he does it like it's like nothing. And it's beautiful to see. And going into the nightclub scene where, he's going after Vigo's son and stuff like that, that whole sequence was really well done too, because it felt like a seedy nightclub. It felt like one of those bathhouse feelings and stuff like that a Russian mobster's son would stay at or hide at. And just how he lethally goes in and just starts taking people out was so well executed as well. And I think one of the best sequence of that fight is that one where he's fighting the guy on the top and he ends up throwing him over the balcony. He falls down on his back. That was one of the best fights of that whole sequence there. But through the whole entire thing, you see all these different moves that he gets to do and take these guys out. And every single time he makes sure to get a nice, good headshot. And you could really see that, Chad Stahelski, you could see David Leitch, you can see that their choreographing or their stuntman background really emphasizes in these two sequences. And that's why every movie they've gone on to do, Bullet Train, the other John Wicks, all these films have amazing fight sequences throughout each of these films. And they're so well choreographed. And it's hard, to see really solid action sequences sometimes that are so well executed that it looks so real. And that's the one thing I have to commend about this first John Wick film is those scenes look so genuine throughout this whole sequence here. And you really feel like John's really killing these people, that Keanu's really killing these people. And it just was so well, almost like ballet is how well it was choreographed. And I just can't get enough of these two sequences, especially when that one sequence where the big buff guy comes walking out of the hot tub and John just takes him out with 2 shots. You're just kind of like, wow, this guy was like nothing. Like, it's not about muscles and bronze. It's about being lethal, about being smart. And that's what John is. And that I just love this sequence because you're just like, you're rooting the whole time. You're like, get the son. But of course, he gets away, unfortunately. But still, I think the best part how it ends is when the kid calls for that bodyguard guy, and John picks up and is like, "No, he's dead." Was like the best part of like how that ended. Great sequence of events, great sequence of action, all around really great portion of the film.
Alan.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, you guys basically, hell, you left me to the last, so I really can't explain much. But there were parts that we hadn't spoken about was when he got to the Continental, the level of respect he had. That they were like,
Yeah,
oh, shit,
good point. Good point.
I was like, holy shit, it's John Wick. He comes in there, the guy's like, he walks down, he's like, is the manager in? Yeah, he's still here. The manager actually was like, you come and see me. He broke the rules by letting him know where Joseph was at. He it was like just little things that, that he did that you can tell how badass John Wick was. The bartender, she was like, holy shit, it's John Wick, what the fuck, where you been, and it was just like little things. And then when he goes to the, when he has to the bar, not to the nightclub, to get the guys, the Nash's character, he's like, all right, why don't you take the night off? He's like, thank you, Mr. Wick. He's like, so it shows you that John Wick, even though he's an assassin, he just doesn't kill to kill. I'm going to kill this person, and whoever gets in my way, I'm going to kill him. Now, if Nash had gotten in his way, he would have killed him. But basically, it's like, if you're not in my way, I'm not. So it was kind of cool. He had kind of like a code, because he even in the hotel and everything, you could tell that everybody knew who John Wick was, and he had a code. And and of course, all the other killing stuff and all that stuff was badass. And I do like when he was doing this, the killing. If you guys notice, he always kept the weapon close to him. Because if you shoot a weapon as big as he had, it's going to give you kickback. If you keep it close, it won't. I mean, I live in South Carolina, so we're gun freaks. So you have that. So that is accurate when you're killing people. If you keep that weapon close to you, the way he was. So it was. I mean, they were accurate when it came to that stuff. It was good.
Yeah, Ellen, I actually like you brought up the cold at John, because you see that throughout the sequels. Like I don't want to talk too much about chapter 2, but like when we get Lawrence Fishburne's character, the Battle King, he talks about how he survived. Because, so like I appreciate that they bring that back again and again with the sequels. So that was something I noticed in this recent viewing. I like that you brought that up. That is really true. He has a good code.
Yeah, he has a code. He just doesn't kill. I mean, he's an assassin, and he's the baddest one of them all. But he doesn't kill just to kill. There's got to be a reason why he'll kill you.
Yeah.
And he always gives you a chance. Yeah, and he gives you a chance. If you're after him for a reason, if I don't have to kill you, I won't. And Vigo's son's case, he's dead. I mean, that was automatically. He killed his dog, stole his car. He's dead. All he asked Vigo at the beginning was, give me your son and this will be over. He did tell him that at the beginning, just give me your son and we're done. But he didn't, which I wouldn't have either. It's my son. So
I don't know. If my son was that much of an asshole, I probably would make the deal.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. Anyways, all right. Well, moving on. I've actually got some scenes and some footage from the actual film, so let me play some of that clip, whatnot, kind of break things up, give everybody a chance to refresh their beverages or go to the bathroom, whatever they need to do. All right. Oh, that's right. He did. He said one of the words, so we got to drink.
He said it twice.
He said it twice. I mean, and you can tell Aurelio was like, Son of a bitch! Out of all the people, he had to take his car.
Yeah, anybody in the world hit.
Yeah.
That's a good clip, man. That's a good one. It is. I like that. I've got one more, and I'll play a little bit of it real quick. Just all right.
Yes.
That's some good shit, man.
Amazing.
For real. All right, so back to the movie. Where we left off is essentially, John having to get medical attention at the Continental, coming off of the whole, the nightclub, fight scene bullshit and whatnot, where he's trying to track down Losif. So once he gets, which I thought was a really good scene when the doctor comes in and whatnot and like fixes him up and whatnot, explains to him what he's going to be able to do, that he'll still be able to be effective. John like rests, the hit woman, Mrs. Perkins, sneaks into his room. Marcus sees Perkins from an adjacent building and fires a warning shot to alert John, which is another really cool scene, who wakes up and subdues her. Perkins reveals Vigo has doubled the bounty for her to kill John in the hotel and to steal the high-value stash in a church. John hires another hitman, Harry, to secure Perkins, but she kills Harry and escapes. At the church, John destroys Vigo's cache of cash and extensive blackmail material.
Cache.
Whatever. Fuck you, motherfucker. I don't want to hear it. When Vigo arrives to assess the damage, John assaults him and his men, but is hit by Krill's car and captured. John tells Vigo he will not stop until Losif is dead because the puppy gave him hope and a chance to not be alone in his grief for Helen. Marcus again intervenes to save John, who kills Krill and threatens Vigo into revealing Losif's location in the safe house. And I'll stop there to the point where, we go into the safe house attack that we just saw. Going to you, Cyberneticshark, your thoughts on that segment of the film, sir?
Where are we stopping again?
The medical attention at the Continental to right before him taking on the Losif in the final, what we just saw in the scenery there at the safe house.
Okay. So basically this part is kind of some downtime for the film, where John gets himself fixed up. So that's interesting. That doctor guy and giving him that medication, like, oh, you might rip it open, but you won't bleed to death if you take this medication, was kind of interesting. I'm like, oh, that's good to know that there's medication like that out there if it's real, especially for any hitman out there. And, we get kind of that, great like scene with Lance Reddick, rest in peace, who was a great actor. And he, just great sequence there. I love that guy. I think he's great. And then, of course, Adriana Palicki pops up to try to take him out, which is a nice little sequence. It's not super actiony, but it's pretty decent. I'm still, kind of, thinking about that sequence all the times I've watched this film. And I'm like, how did that scrawny girl take on buff Keanu Reeves? I'm sorry. I just didn't see that. I thought that was a really bad pairing there. Because, I could see maybe a little thicker buffer chick like Gina Carano or, somebody like that. Maybe having a little bit more like impact at that. But she was kind of like throwing him around like a rag doll. And I'm thinking that woman probably can't even pick up a quarter without hurting herself. And, I just thought that was a bad casting choice on their part. But, she wasn't horrible. But still, I think that fight sequence was pretty uneven, how it should have gone. But then, we have that one guy pop in and say, oh, are you working? That was pretty funny. And, him ends up looking after her after John leaves. And, basically we move on to, him basically starting to create havoc for Vigo more by taking out, his money and everything that he has leverage on. And we get that kind of great sequence there where he goes to the bank and blows the shit up, which was really fun. And, basically we have quite a bit of action going on in that scene. So you're saying go up to the safe house. So are we? Is that including the sequence where John gets captured?
Right up to that point when he gets captured, yes.
Okay. So then, of course, we have that great scene where he's trying to take them on after they've arrived at the bank, finding out that all the cash has been burned. And he starts taking them on, and he gets hit by that car. Holy crap. That was like freaking awesome. He was still kind of like still with it there before passing out after getting hit by that car. But how he goes in and like starts executing those people and stuff was so freaking awesome. And just another great action sequence there that, leads to some great fun. So I'll stop there. Great sequence, really fun.
Alan.
Well, basically what Cyber's saying, but a few other things, like, for example, I like it when he was fighting Perkins and he comes out of the room and he's like, dude, do I know you? He goes, yeah, I think so. So, it was kind of like you start getting into the world that they're in, that all these guys are, you have the, contract killers,
the underworld, underbelly type motherfuckers.
He's like, is the doctor in? Yeah, the doctor is always in. It was that type of, you start getting, by the time you get to the part where, he gets captured, you're already basically vested into Continental. You kind of know they have, they're telling you they have doctor services, they have cleaning services. You guys do dry cleaning? No, we ain't gonna. They have all kinds of stuff. They have their own bar for them on the bottom floor.
Yeah, and it was dope too. The bar scene was dope.
They have all the things that are going on, and we're saying, the William DeVos character, basically saves him from. He sees her coming into the room, but I don't know if he saves him to the point that he did it to save him, or it was more like, she's breaking the rules of the Continental, and I gotta help John on that part. I don't think, I don't know if it was more like I gotta help John because I owe him something or because he's my friend, or more like she's breaking the rules of the Continental. We have to make this even, and her being that she could kick John Wick's ass. Well, yeah, she could kick John Wick's ass. John Wick's, man, dude, for the past 45 minutes before this all started, which we'll say it's a couple of days, that motherfucker's been getting his ass kicked left and right. He's been beat up. From the guys showing they showed at his house, they beat him up, they kill his dog, then they come back and attack him again. Then he's got to take the bus to Aurelia's place. After he takes the bus, then he gets a car, drives to the Continental.
Drake.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He goes to the Continental, go through all that bullshit, goes into the club, fights, kills 10, 15 people, goes back to the room, so, I understand what you're saying, Cyber. Gina Carrera would have been a lot better, yes, because she's a big tough woman. But I could see him getting his ass kicked, or not getting his ass kicked, but getting into that level because she got him when he was down. He wasn't at full capacity, and it's kind of cool because when they're fighting, he gets a call. Hey, we're getting complaints on your room that some shit's going on there. Oh, I got an uninvited guest. So that's telling him, all right, some shit's going on, so, and then of course, he gets hit by the car. And like you said, man, when he got hit by the car and all that shit, that was awesome. Yeah, I guess I got to that ending right there. I can't go any further because Jeff will bitch at me.
Oh, stop. Vic.
I'm gonna say the bringing in the female assassin chick, it was a cool element. You kind of have to bring other people in play here to show what John is up against and people similar to his level. Choreograph was good. I didn't have any complaints with it. She is a little skinny for the role. Probably had a better casting, but I think they the best they could,
Mhm.
who they got. I think when we get to him taking down all the snipers, the guys with the rifles, it's funny because watching this, I'm saying, hey, this guy is Batman. He's basically Batman right now. Now, movies I'm watching, I'm saying this guy's like John Wick. So like he just grows on you throughout the series, and the things he do is just a whole nother level. But the movie pretty much at this point to me hit its high. We're still cruising at a steady pace, but after the club scene, the house, we never got past that point at any point. And it's also funny with him getting hit with the car, how that holds so much weight in further movies as we go along. Him in cars is hilarious to me. So,
All right, Mr. 60-minute man yourself. Andre's pop culture guy.
Sure. I mean, yeah, when he goes back to the hotel, like this is where the hotel manager is the best character, from Lance Reddick. And one of the things that it's funny, like I love how you say like the people that does the laundry are not good. That was very funny. And everybody we watched, the doctor we see again for chapter 3 and this movie, he's actually the key maker from the Matrix Reloaded. If you're a big Matrix guy, I didn't recognize him. It's very cool that they actually bring him here to be the doctor. That's so funny. This latest Rudy, I was like, who is that guy? I didn't recognize him. And I was like, oh my god, the key maker. I just love it, and I love the end conversation after he stitches John Wick and is like, you have ending to take care of the pain. And then I just like John replies, like, he lists his bourbon and he's like, I got that taken care of. And drinks his bourbon just to take care of his pain, which is great. Yeah, Perkins, great assassin. She's not my favorite female assassin in this series. Like, I think Halle Berry, from chapter 3 is my favorite. Like, she feels like very like top assassin, especially with the 2 dogs and her shooting. It's just really good in that.
What about the girl in chapter 2?
Well, Ruby Rose, yeah, she's good too. I do like her. Yeah. I mean, not my favorite, but like she's good. I'll say. But anyway,
Good. She's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, not good as Halle Berry. Like nothing will. Like you got 2 dogs.
I'm about to say because Halle Berry's good.
Oh, she's 100 great in chapter.
Ruby
2.
Rose's acting is about as good as her haircut is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ruby Rose ain't no good, brother.
Nah, I don't like her.
Maybe she's good, but
I mean, my friends are talking about the action. I'm talking more about that than the acting, really. But anyway,
okay.
Yeah. No. I don't think Ruby Rose is a great actress. I just think she was good in the fighting skills and whatnot. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
She's definitely a funny looking fucking broad. I'll say that.
He's just trying to be as nice as he can.
Hey, look, I'm trying to be reasonable here, but anyway, Perkins. I mean, I hate Perkins. I hate that she kills Henry. I mean, Alan, I agree. He's.
Did he just say that she was like a really good assassin or some shit a minute ago?
No. I want to bring. No. I'm answering his question. Henry also do it because the coin. John Wick officer offers Henry like a like a coin to like elevate himself, to the whatever Continental thing. So that's the reason he kind of like take Perkins, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, but what was funny about this sequence when Perkins attacking John Wick is the calling, the phone reading from the hotel manager. That made me laugh so hard when they're fighting and you hear the phone reading and it's like, oh, and then we cut back to the hotel manager just waiting for the phone to pick up. And I don't know if you guys laugh so hard, but that always cracks me up. So yeah, that was very funny. And again, this is where Marcus becomes a really great character. Like Marcus is a friend for John Wick, and the fact that he like warned him that Perkins was in his room, it's really great. And then we see that again in the church as well when he he helps him out to escape. Yeah, then after that, we go to the church. He gets the information from Perkins. I mean, first off, I didn't know. I'm a New Jersey guy. I've been to New York, but I know Little Italy. I know Little Chinatown. I did not know there was a Little Russia. I was talking to my mom today, and we were watching John Wick, and she's a big fan of this series. And I asked my mom, I was like, "Is there a Little Russia town?" And then she said yes. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I blew my mind. I was like, "Oh my god, this is freaking me out." So I was like, I thought they just made that up for this movie. I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I'm a little concerned about New York now. So I just love how John Wick just barges in, shoots a bunch of people in the church, which I am so happy because I'm not a religious guy. So I'm happy that
Yeah, fuck them.
yeah, fuck that. Yeah, like I don't care about you. I'm a atheist person. Just keep it to yourself, folks. You viewers such. Right? I'm an atheist person. Anyway, I was so happy. And then this poor priest guy, whatever, he's working for the Russians, right? He gets shot by John Wick. And then, and of course, John Wick destroys everything that Vigo owns in New York City, as he tells him later in his capture, blackmail, Sicily and all, money, all of that, which cracks me up. And, when he say priceless. And it's like, I get it, Vigo. Like, you should have other backup blackmail, right? In other places, right? But anyway, he's stupid. So, yeah, so the fact that he destroyed that to just piss off Vigo was fun. And yeah, I agree with Cyber that, him getting hit by the car was crazy. Like, he could easily be killed by that, but he survived somehow. But yeah, that's where we're going to stop, Jeff. Or can I talk about when he is in captured by Vigo, right? Jeff, that's fine
Yeah,
to me.
I hear you, sir. That's it.
Okay, that's it. Good. I'm done.
Okay, sir. I just want to make sure. I know you're very excited. You're all caffeinated up. All right, so
I mean, water and caffeine, not good mix, people.
all right. Either way, so basically where we left off was essentially
Whoa,
John attacking.
Whoa, we forgot somebody.
Who?
Andre?
No, I got everybody in.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, dog.
Jeez, Alan.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so John attacks the safe house and kills Losif. Marcus encourages John to return to his everyday life. Perkins witnesses this and reveals Marcus's duplicity to Vigo, who has him tortured and killed. Great scene. Vigo calls John to taunt him with the details, drawing him back to the city. Winston has Perkins executed for breaking the Continental's rules. Another great scene that informs John that Vigo is preparing to leave the city by helicopter. John races to New York Harbor, where he fights and mortally wounds Vigo. John, resigned to dying from his injuries, watches on his phone a video of Helen telling him they need to go home. He races to a nearby animal clinic, treats his wounds, and adopts a pit bull puppy scheduled to be euthanized before beginning to walk home. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. So, Vic, I'll start with you, sir. Then I'll go to you, Alan. I'll go to you, Cyber, and I'll go back to you, Andres, again. Vic, your thoughts on that final stretch of the film, sir. Take as much time as you want, because once you finish it, we're going to do our ratings, and we're going to plug out, and we're out of here.
All right. Final stretch of the film. Still tuned in. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. The fact that what's the hotel guy name? The guy who runs the hotel?
Oh, Winston.
Winston. The fact that he killed her for breaking the rules definitely holds weight throughout the movie because it shows just how important this life is, the seriousness of this life, and like if you mess up one thing, you're out of there. No questions asked, which sets up the movie later on or the series later on as a whole. The whole thing with Marcus, I didn't want to see that end the way it did. I understand why they did it. It was to get John back or whatever, but I think you could have gone a different route. But I'm not mad at it. It tells a story. It hooks you still. It makes it more important. Another loss for you and John as the character. Him getting another dog felt refreshing for him. It's kind of like it's some type of happiness for him at the end. Even though he had to come back, he had to do all this stuff, he's right back to where he left off, kind of. And it's just some comfort for him in the end. But solid ending. I was happy throughout the whole film. I don't know how else you would have ended it without killing everybody. Him not letting no one live that needed to die sounds great to me.
All right, Alan.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Well, the ending was a little bit. Oh, okay, let me turn this down because Jeff's texting everybody. Dang, Jeff, why are you making so much?
It's not me. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it is you. It says here Jeff. Well, okay, it doesn't say Jeff, but I'm gonna say it says. You know what, dog?
1 second.
No, well, the church.
Throwing out just the word dog, Alan, doesn't really work like that.
Yes,
You
it
can't
does.
just throw it out there. You have to use it in a sentence, sir.
Well, the dog took a crap in the yard.
That's better.
That's a sentence. That's a great sentence.
The actually, like Andre was talking about the Perkins, that was kind of cool how they just showed, we didn't know what was going to happen, but John already did. See, he already knew. All right, she's dead. She broke the rules of the Continental. She's dead. By just going in his room, her fate had been sealed. So, it was kind of like, why is he leaving her alive instead of just killing her? Well, she was going to die anyway. So, that answered. It was kind of cool the way they did it because they always knew there was going to be a chapter 2. So they were kind of like leading towards the chapter 2 and keeping open end stuff, but kind of, you said like the ending, they kind of like made it like a quote unquote happy ending, but it made sense.
Very nice, sir. I like that.
In the second one, I mean, okay, this isn't sentence, but his animal's name was Dog. He didn't have a name for it. Well, I guess we got to take a hit for it.
Yeah, that's a sentence.
So there was a reason why he had to, but even going through all the crap he went through to get to the animal shelter was pretty cool. He was done. He had killed his son. He's like, all right, I killed the son. I'm on my way home. But nope, they killed his buddy. So then he had to turn around and come back, and he had to go through all this stuff. It was like the ending was an ending, but it wasn't an ending. So it was I mean, like Andre said, yeah, it was perfect. In my opinion, it was perfect the way they did it. He got whatever he had to get done, and I guess, damn it, I wish we were doing chapter 2 because you can really get more into it.
Nobody said we wanted to live stream for 4 hours tonight, Alan.
Well, we can. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Hey, we can do it. I seen chapter 2, so it's fresh in my mind.
No, I'm not in the mood for all that.
Jeff's like,
hey, Kimberly, how's it going? It's good to see you.
Hey, Kimberly.
Crazy motherfuckers.
Cyber ain't down with that 4-hour live stream bullshit.
Yeah, Cyber's like, hell no, we ain't doing that shit again.
Cyber leaves the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he bail out on us? Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't bail. He'll go 2.5 or whatever, 2.5 change if he has to, whatever, whatnot, if it's a good show. But other than that, at that 2-hour mark, Cyberneticshark is out.
I don't blame him. I would have bailed out. It was my show with you, and I would have bailed out too.
That's why I always ask people if they're okay, right? Don't I try to cyber to be like, hey, if y'all want to dip at that 2 hour mark, I'm gonna keep on rocking because I want to keep on talking about this one part of whatever. You know what I'm saying, Vic? Right?
Yeah.
You know, like so this one part of the movie or episode you're reviewing or whatever, whatnot that we
Yeah.
got off on for a minute, but we had to stop it because of the the size of the show, the panel, whatever, whatnot, right? And time, time constraints. If you want to stay around and rock it for another hour, let's just do it, right? But everybody else cut loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same thing with me. We do the podcast. We're like, all right, hour and a half, and then it's 3.5 hours later. I don't know what happens.
I mean, when you're having fun, man, you're having fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Alan, do you have any final thoughts, sir?
Final thoughts. I reckon. Well, are we doing the ratings and stuff, or
not yet? Just your final thoughts on the end, the end of the film.
Yeah, they from beginning to end. I mean, they closed it out good. It wasn't. They didn't rush the ending, even though it seems like they did, but they didn't. It was, it was a solid ending. He got. I kind of like the ending because, you figure they went 15 minutes over because he killed Vigo's son, and then he had to turn around and come back. So that was an additional 15 minutes they added kind of to the movie. So it was like, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I'm already on my 13th beer, so don't listen to me.
All right, sir. We can tell. We can tell where you're at on the Allen meter.
Don't listen to me.
Cyberneticshark, sir.
So the ending of the film is fantastic. It's really enjoyable. There's a lot of great action. Once again, unfortunately, we see the demise of William Dafoe at the end here after he helps John escape. At that point, basically, he chases Vigo outside and pretty much blows up his car. He's pulled it up and he gets it out of Vigo where his son is, and he's able to go and take him out. We get that great sequence where he ends up taking him out very precisely and just strategically. And I love that sequence because as we had watched it a little bit earlier, the one guy, the Alfie kid, yelling at the one dude, stop playing that stupid game and stuff like that. And while he's playing that, he gets shot through the head, which was like perfect timing. And that whole sequence just was really well executed. I like how he took everyone out real quickly, precisely, and ended up, taking out the son. And, we get kind of that great sequence, basically after John has completed the mission, has to end up going back to kind of get revenge for William Dafoe's character after he's killed. And we get to see that great execution of Adriana Padalecki's character for doing business on Continental grounds, which was freaking awesome. I loved it when she got her just dessert. I was like, yes, that's awesome. And Ian McShane being there too, and giving his 2 cents and, forewarning, John and stuff like that. You can just tell that they had a good rapport going. And, leading up to the final battle with Vigo, that sequence is pretty interesting. A lot of hand-to-hand combat that happens. And, John ended up taking him out with that knife right to the neck was really awesome. And you're just kind of like, wow, this is a really great villain. You kind of don't want him to die, but he has to die because he's a villain. And, Michael Nyqvist was like amazing actor, rest in peace. And he was just so great as this villain. And you kind of liked him too, because you could tell that, he was doing this because he did love his son too at the same time. So you felt that kind of fatherly bond there for him, and that he was, trying to do what was right, but at the same time, he's trying to get revenge too. So, they're both kind of, both things are happening because of kind of this revenge feeling. And, but John ends up being victorious at the end. And after that final battle, that's where we come up to the very beginning of the film, where he's driving that car, smashing into that place and getting out, watching the video of his wife. And basically the video encourages him enough to get back up and go into the veterinary hospital to fix himself up. we get to see him staple himself, which was pretty interesting. And then he ends up going in there and he finds a dog and he ends up taking that dog, which I thought was really funny that he ends up with another dog at the end of the film. And we basically see them kind of walking away, that great music playing, and that's how the movie ends. So, I mean, great ending, really enjoyable. John is victorious and just all around great action film.
Andre's the pop culture guys. You see Minute Man, sir.
My name is Title Man. If you remember, what, two days ago, another live stream. Anyway, third act, amazing. It's awesome. I just love it.
We've demoted you to Title Boy now.
Fuck you too, Jeff and Cyber. Title Man, Title Boy. Unbelievable.
That's a crack up, a dry threat.
What? Oh my god! Please! Oh my god! Anyway, you know what? I'll just join the Continental. I'm leaving you guys alone. Anyway, rest in peace, Marcus. Great actor, William Dafoe. He's one of my favorite characters from this franchise. I didn't want him to die. Oh my god, it was so sad. Such amazing friend, for Assassin, which is great. I was so happy when he, came back again and helped him shoot, one of Eagle's men in the church house, whatever, when John got captured, and it was really great. And I like how, they meet up again, and it was really sad that he died. And I like that. This is something that's actually repeated in chapter 2. He says that he's gonna go out on his own way, which I like. He does it. He just grabs someone's gun and shoot, bam, bam, shot 2 of Eagle's men in his house, which was awesome. And then he gets overkill by Vigo, and it's like, oh my god, great death, because he did it his own way. He didn't, suffer. I mean, he did suffer, but at least he didn't die in this very sad way. He did it his own way to get out.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. So I just love that, and it was sad, but anyway, thankfully him and Perkins was gonna die, so that was the great thing. When the hotel manager called Perkins, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna get killed. Yeah, and then Winston comes out and he's like, we're revoking your license in the Continental thing, and then 4 men come out of the shadows and shoot her blank point. And I was like, bravo, thank you, because Henry and Marcus deserve justice, and we got justice, which was great. And I agree with you, Alan. You got a sense that Winston has a really good friendship with John, which we'll see again and again in the next 3 chapters. And and then when John comes after Vigo, poor Dean Winters, he one of his worst jobs ever is he gets so nervous that John attacking them, and then when he constantly asks someone who has a gun, which is funny. I don't know if you guys catch that. He asks someone in the car, if someone has a gun, it's so funny. And then Vigo gives him the gun, and he's playing with him, which is so funny. And then of course he says something in Russian, and then of course he replies, Vigo, English, please, motherfucker, tell me. And he says something, good luck. And he's like, fuck you, bitch, or something like that. I don't know what he say. He just say fuck you, And then of course he got cocky and shoots, John Wick in the car, and then bam, gets killed so quickly by just getting hit by the car, which was brutal. I
don't think he actually died at that point. He didn't look like he was dead.
I mean, just like Fast and the Furious, if the car hits you, you're dead.
It's just fatality.
Dude, did you bring up Fast and the Furious?
Family.
Yeah, family. I mean, look. This franchise has a logic to okay, if you're gonna survive by dropping from stairs twice if you pay attention, John gets hit so many times, gets shot many times. You know, I mean, come on. And also, cars hits him, and he gets up so quickly. So, and you know, with Dan Winters, first off, he gets shot actually twice by John Wick, and then
I know.
Yeah, you know. Okay, Jeff. I was kind of concerned. I was like, Jeff, you know,
I watched the movie today.
Well, I saw this movie 1,000 times, sir. So you should know what kind of fucking kill it was. Okay. Anyway, that's not the point. Rest in peace.
I want detailed every account of that 1,000 times you watched it. 60-minute man. I want to see this in detail.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, Andre's pop culture guy, so we can do ratings and get out of here.
Yeah.
Jeff wants out.
Yeah, Jeff. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take my time because you call me 60-minute man. You call me Tower Boy. I'm gonna take my fucking time.
That's right. You do it. You do it. You know,
Yes.
you should do it because dogs take shits on yards.
All right. Well,
dogs take shits on yards.
Oh, here we go again.
So, Chewbacca, Miller Ultra Light Man there. Anyways, right. I just would just be Chewbacca, sir. Just be Chewbacca.
Okay.
Andres, final thoughts at the end of the film, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Chewbacca, Star Wars. What else? Talking about Fast and Furious, Ahsoka. Oh yeah. So I mean, Viggo getting killed was great. It's kind of the weakest like endings for the John Wick series. Like it's not as like grandiose as chapter 2, 3, and 4, but it's a personal story, so it makes sense. So anyway, so I was happy we got back to the end. That was a great, payoff, from the beginning, as Cyber say. It was convenient that he goes to a kennel, gets stitched, he gets another dog. I was like, oh my god. And he doesn't name the dog in the sequels. I was like,
hey, you said it.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at me. It's sad news. He doesn't have a name. So, like the next sequels, he had to say his actual name. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Good movie, great movie. Let's get out of here and
all right,
this motherfucker thing.
Ratings, Vic, you first. You're muted.
8.5. Very great. Very great.
Alan, ratings.
I give it a 9.
All right, Cyberneticshark, sir.
I give it an 8.
Andre's the pop culture guy.
10 Chewbaccas out of 10 Fast and the Furious.
I love that sound effect. That was fun.
Yeah, excuse me. There are no Chewbaccas, no Fast and Furious, sir. You have to give a normal rating, Andres.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Okay.
No. Let me go. Okay. I'm sorry, Cyber. 10 Fox. 10 out of Fox.
Wow.
That's for you.
Okay. Jesus. Anyway, I'm gonna give it an 8. An 8 out of 10. And that wraps up right there, folks. Our review. I don't have any final thoughts. Good show, everybody. Let's plug out of here. That's our final thoughts right there. Our review of John Wick. I'm sure we'll end up doing John Wick season 2 or John Wick season 2. We'll do John Wick number 2 at some point down the road. When we do, we'll reach out to Vic and Alan and try to bring them back and whatnot, to come out and review the movie with us. But we appreciate you coming on, Vic.
Thank you.
We didn't get to have Josh on from. Unfortunately, he had to run late from work. From Four Nerds by Nerds podcast, but he's going to come back and do Pacific Rim with us later on this month. So we'll see him then. But Alan, appreciate you coming on, brother.
I appreciate it.
Cyber, great job on the panel, sir. You too, Andres, pop culture guy. Vic, thanks for doing your first time, gig here on the Bleeding Edge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yep. For Shogun episode 1, folks. We got Shogun episode 1 next Wednesday. It's gonna be dope as shit. I can't wait to review that
I
series.
think they're
It's been a lot of
premiering
fun.
2 episodes. That
They
night.
are.
Tuesday, yeah, right.
Yeah, they are. They're dropping the first 2. But let's plug out of here, and we'll start with you, Vic. I'm going to go ahead real quick, and I'm going to pull up your podcast.
Thank you.
And go ahead, sir, and talk about what y'all do over there, the Entertainment District Podcast.
Well, I'm Vic, the head of 4 Horses, the Entertainment District Podcast. We talk movies, series, and anime. We go on a weekly basis. Anything newsworthy or trailers that drop out that week, we talk about it in the week, post it, and come join us. Thank you for having me.
Nice.
Most definitely, sir. We appreciate you.
Heck yeah.
Going to you, Alan, my friend.
All right.
The Neglected Podcast, sir. Comedy pod. Oh, you added comedy podcast. Oh, you changed your title, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Nice.
changed the title. Yeah. Basically, we are just 3 guys that we've known each other for a long time, and we just decided, since we can't hang out together because of our families, we just do the podcast and just goof around. And that's basically it. It's no, we don't it's no agenda, in the sense that we don't come up with, we really actually honestly, and I mean, I guess I'm a little bit buzzed, but we don't come up with nothing. We just basically record, and this is what it is. We don't have a plan for anything. We just, whatever comes out comes out. You know, sometimes it's good, most of the times it sucks. But, you know, it's free bandwidth, so we just take it.
That's it. As long as you're having fun, Alan, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's
be
all.
you.
Always
Gotta be you.
If we enjoy ourselves, that's all we do. Basically, it's like,
Oh God,
you don't have to like it, we do. So it's like, listen to us if you want to,
guys, folks, they're better than that. I promise.
But if you don't like us, I'm sorry.
Great plug, Alan. Great,
Oh, yeah.
great job, brother. You killed it on that one. Cyberneticshark, sir. What's going on over at your YouTube channel, my friend?
So as always, as I always say, if you enjoy me here on the panel or as the moderator of the episode or show, you can definitely check out my solo content underneath Cyberneticshark under YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much anywhere, Patreon. And as you can see, I put up the Boys in the Boat film review. So definitely go check that out if you haven't seen that film. It's a really fantastic film. It's about the 1936 Olympic team rowers that actually ended up going over to, I believe it was France at the time, or Germany, and won the 1936 Olympics. Nice. And it's a really great movie, directed by George Clooney. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. That's my most recent. I'll be having Madam Web up soon, too, as well, my review of that. You can check out my mini short review of that on there, which I enjoyed that film. And I put up a few shorts today as well. One for Trauma, which is a Dario Argento horror film, Freeway, and the film Vamp from 1986. Vamp, if you have not seen Vamp, definitely check it out, people. It's a freaking amazing film. Super funny. Grace Jones is in it. And Chris Makepeace, if you remember the film Meatballs, he plays Rudy in Meatballs. He's in this. He's an adult. It's actually pretty funny. And just a really fun film. But yeah, currently at 738, gone up about 4 subscribers. So keep on trucking. Let's get to that magic 1,000 mark, which is our goal for 2024. Me and Andres are vying for that beautiful position. So help us get there.
Okay.
Andres, pop culture guy, sir.
Hello, everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. This is my channel, the Andreas Pop Culture Guy channel presents. I'm up to 890 subscribers. Recently posted my 21 Jump Street review. Check it out. Tomorrow, I'm going to post my Puff Girl Super Smash Comic 3 Part 3. And this Sunday, me and Jeff are back again for a live stream on the first film, 21 Jump Street, the classic 2012 film, Johnny Tatum and Jordan Hill, directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us for the Drunk Week film. This film it means a lot to me and my family. Rest in peace, my dad, who loved this film as well. And yeah, thank you. And please support me and Cyber to reach that mark for 2024. It will be so happy for 2024 to reach that mark. But thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Folks, at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, we want to thank all of our supporters for helping us reach over 40,000 subscribers. It happened just recently. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. We also wanted to just point out that we are starting on Monday coming up here, this Monday, this being, of course, the 23rd. This Monday coming up, Andre's the Pop Culture Guy and I will be starting off our reviews of the Rick and Michonne, the Ones Who Live series. Wednesday next week will be our first episode review of Shogun. Vic will be on the panel for that. Andre's the Pop Culture Guy will be there. Me and Cyber will be there. And then I think movie review next week is Heat. Now, we already have a full panel for that. So there you go. Besides that, we appreciate all of you. Appreciate everybody on the show. God bless everyone. You all have a good evening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next show. Take care and peace.
Peace.
Exactly. Just like that.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time? Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and read it, you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the